chaos around him, his only source of peace is now fucking gone. He's now fucking gone, but he don't want to hurt nothing he loves, so he's going to stay away. No matter how bad he want to go back around it, he not going to, because he going to feel the volatility within the self. Some motherfuckers don't give a fuck. They don't have enough self-control to gain control of the self before you present yourself back to the person that turned that shit on. God damn. So when they tell you to put on the whole armor of God, that shit is your God gene. Wake up, turn on that goddamn mitochondrial, let that motherfucker feel this divine love and see what the fuck happened. He's gonna either self-destruct or start tearing shit up. Or he gonna master that shit. I can't help it. I'm just into mastering shit. Right? So when the volatility and the motherfucking flaming torch of the heart chakra spinning around in my chest, sending motherfucking hot flashes like I'm going through menopause and shit, while I'm freezing and sweating at the same time, like what the fuck is this shit? Because I don't feel sick. Yeah. They call that putting on the armor of God. God damn, that shit a headache. One time is enough in a lifetime to resurrect from a dead state to an upright motherfucker. Cause that's a hard-ass job. And I understand why these bitch-made niggas are scared to take the journey. It makes sense to me on this side that fools rush in where a wise man dare to tread. Unless you're a wise fool. He know that it's something more than what he been looking for. You know? So you feel that shit burning and mama not gonna let you get too far away. Which takes me to the next part of the video. You get lessons from all the women you encounter before you encounter a particular woman. Every woman you encounter is giving you a lesson or a test. Some of them are giving you both. And so in the ancient days, they used to call that sowing your royal oats. It's not sowing your royal oats. It's learning how to communicate with women on multiple levels. So when you find the right one, you can communicate on her on whatever level she on. But then if you're from a royal stock, it makes even more sense because it's not just the women, it's the men too you need to communicate with. So if you come from that Grail blood, you're going to have this deep desire to want to communicate with everybody from the projects to the penthouse, from the city to the suburbs, from the valley to the hills. You understand? So that's telling you from the thugs to the motherfucking hillbillies, from the valley girls to the project sisters. You got to be able to communicate with them all. That means that you have to meet people on their level at all cross sections of life. And the only way you're going to be able to meet them on their level is you got to come with a motherfucking respect that they're going to respect. You can't come disrespectful. Look, I grew up GD 215-19-74 boss, Hoover on your motherfucking ass, nigga. That was me. But I'ma tell you this. I can produce Stones, Vice Lords, Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings, Latin Count, MS-13. I can keep going. Spanish Cobras, Satin Disciples, Cobra Stones, all these motherfuckers that I done hobnob with and met with on a level of respect gave me mutual respect. Hell, I'm a blue rag wearing motherfucker walking the yard in the penitentiary with a blood that can't understand how is this making so much sense that you could tell me this shit and make me not want to kill a Crip. I can't understand that, nigga. Don't you understand I'm a killer? And what you telling me right now make more sense than me killing that Crip. Yeah, because if you think about it, you got the same motherfucking foot on your neck. And as long as you fighting them Crips, you a crab in the bucket too, blood. So we flip this shit back right. Them brothers looking out on death can also initiate the community revolution in progress. That's a Pyru flip, Crip. It's the same thing with the relationships. The gangs our tribes. They tell y'all they gangs to villainize them and give you a definition of a gang that don't mean what the people in the powerhouse up in the penthouse, Wall Street, the Pentagon, the Vatican, Buckingham Palace, or none of them motherfuckers don't tell you that they use codes in every fucking thing they saying around us. Right? 2020, clear sight. Clear sight. As of February the 2nd of each year, that's front and back. 2222. You know? That's 4 twos. Double up on both sides. Damn me in front of me. I see all that shit. 360 field vision. Perfect operative in all directions at the same time. That's an all-seeing eye if I ever seen one myself. That's the 13th seat of the Zodiac. That's flipping off a two-ball cane between Joaquin and Boaz. That's how I'm being raised, mother. Whew. So the relationship dynamic goes directly into how well do we understand ourselves, our gender roles, and the exact reverse for the other side. You're not going to balance no family out no other way. You need a matriarch and a patriarch. They both got a leadership role, but they lead in different manners. If you got lesser evolved individuals pretending to be family, they need a model. They need a framework in order to understand what it is and how to make it work. You don't want a relationship just to have sex, because that's a dumb reason to have a relationship. You can just go have sex and don't have a relationship and go about your business. As long as it's on a straight bump, you agree, I agree. No harm, no foul. But beyond that, when you're talking about a relationship, you know, first of all, the word relation, that means as one thing compares to another. This is how they connect. On a ship. Shit. So if they're going to meet on a ship, it's a Titanic story, a Titanic flip, a ginormous love story, the story of life. Life is love, and love is life, meaning life is a love story, and love story is life. It's a mitochondrial story. You can read it on Life, you can see it on Lifetime on any given Sunday if you're not watching football with the fellas. It's a love story, a mitochondrial story. She loved the love story, right? Because the love story is a her story. But you didn't conceal it with his story. Because the love story is a her story. It's a mitochondrial story. A mitochondrial story is a divine love story. What they call the divine drama, the holy drama. We back in Egypt, flipping it off the hieroglyphics. It all mean the same thing. When they say love is life and life is love, what are they talking about? Right? When they say live and let live, what are they talking about? You know? When they say love over hate, what are they talking about? Love instead of hate, what are they talking about? That mitochondria shit on, we even have to ask the question. If enough women on this planet agree that it's already then flipped the grid, now all they got to do is flip the kids from the imposters. So when you look, it's a path of wisdom that journeys through the separation of the two greatest relationship experts, Barbara DeAngelis and John Gray. Now, when you use the information, it's not the same, because it's a difference in knowing the path and walking the path, which goes to the separation. Sometime in walking the path, you have to go different paths because you move in different manners. You see, the king on the chessboard don't move like the queen. The queen can move in more directions because she's more flexible. That's a feminine aspect, the flexibility. The king can only move one step at a time either way. That's because he's more rigid and restricted. Well, hell, if the king was smart, he'd exercise his motherfucking mind power and join with that queen, and they can make a motherfucking flip for the better. They become a balancing act, right? He used his motherfucking stern authority to rule to allow her to make the necessary moves, because the queen can move in a way that no king can. But at the same time, the queen understands the importance of protecting the king, because the king is the general. That's a general flip, meaning that apply to all people. You're the king of your own castle, but you first got to build that motherfucker by building yourself. That's a solid temple, a temple of man. Solomon's temple, right? So they say in the last days Solomon's temple will rebuild. What is Solomon's temple? Who was Solomon? Break down the word. Soul, oh man. Oh man, your soul is trying to build you up so that you can process the energy influx off the mitochondrial when this girl turn this shit on that make you stand up and be more than a regular man. You become a Uberman, almost Superman. You begin to see with sight beyond sight, like an owl or the hawk by day or night. Your totem is intact. I'm a gorilla. That make me the king of the Congo, the Congo king, the platinum back. We talking about platinum group metals now, on a monatomic state. This is how you understand spin. When you spin up, she spin down. We meet in the middle. Pyramid up, pyramid down. We meet in the middle. We form an hourglass. An hourglass. That means that the time, the sands is running through the hourglass, and so are the days of our lives. But sooner or later, the hourglass got to come to a fulfillment of its time frame, a time matrix, right? So today is the 9th, 8th is the 10th. Wait a minute, let me see what day it is. Yeah, today the 10th, because yesterday was the 8th off the Biggie Smalls flip off Faith, off the Burning Bed, right? And the Burning Bed was a domestic violence story with Farrah Fawcett. No, it's a Farrah Fawcett. What's a faucet? It's a water spigot. It allows water to come out. This is the Aquarian age. So Farrah turned on the faucet. Who is Farrah? Farrah Gray. Farrah Gray is Khalid Muhammad's son, right? But Farrah is on the gray. The fair is on the gray. So it's what it's telling me. I'm reading the signs in real time while I'm telling y'all the secret to reading the mind. So if Farrah is on the gray, and Khalid was the sword of Allah, right? So Khalid was the one that was the one doing the fighting on behalf of Allah. This is flipping the queen. So I know who she is. That's a fire sprite, because that sword was a flaming sword. That means it was a fiery sword that was the sword of Allah. So then the Farrah Gray was the son of Khalid. Khalid was a black man, and it would have to be a white woman. And Farrah Gray looked mixed because his mom was from somewhere else. So that means this white woman got a mixed daughter, and this mixed daughter would be fair, and she would be living on the gray. But we all know who that is. I'm not going to go into no names. They know who it is. They watching. Trying to act like they don't see me. I ain't John Cena. You can see me. I ain't hiding. I ain't running and I ain't ducking. So on the relationship, we came out with a couple of different flips and uncovered some secrets. So Eli Johnson. Eli mean God. John's son. Who is John's son? That's my cousin Little John. That's Little John Buckley. I tell you, J-O-B. Job. Now that flips me. Flipped me off the job as Job, because I had to go through the dark night of the soul. But they say after every dark night, it's a bright day after that. So sometime when you go through your process, people don't understand what you're going through, and they give you all this fucked up ass advice that if you do that shit, you're going to cause calamity for yourself and others. But they don't know that because they can't see what you see. Right, kill him and leave him breathing. That's what they did to me. That shit ain't do nothing but make me evolve. Because love, if you flux the word around the L, evolve is what it'll spell. Because if you can't love, you're going to evolve. You're going to have to. You can't stay where you was at and be the same as you was before you was put to death. That's why they call it a resurrection. A return to life. Where you coming from? The land of the dead. What dead? The mentally dead. Why are they mentally dead? Because they blind, deaf, and dumb. They can't see, they can't hear, and they can't speak the fucking truth. Why? Because they see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. All turn a blind eye. Fuck that shit. I'm upsetting the goddamn peace because we gonna establish some justice somewhere for somebody, even if it ain't for me. I don't give two shits. Somebody gonna get some shit fixed somewhere. Somebody had to get it fixed. You see, so being that I done passed all the tests, I done prove beyond all doubt that everything that I say is what I say it is. You know, it's still people trying to tell me what the fuck to do, and they don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing. That's fine. Don't mean I gotta do it. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna throw it into the mathematical calculation because I might be able to get some use out of it. But other than that, you know, I'm not really worried about it. I know somebody flipped me a video, Trent Shelton video. It said it was about all these people in the world, the other fish in the sea ass story. Let me tell y'all something about the other fish in the sea. Ain't none of them motherfuckers me. So if you want less than the best, you right. It's more fish in the sea. But if you the type of motherfucker like me, who I only want the best, I don't want none of that watered down shit. If I go to the bar and buy a shot of liquor, I don't want to go in there and buy a shot of liquor that's half water. That's not what I'm paying for. I want what the fuck I pay for. Meet me and bump me on a straight level like I'm going to meet you and bump you on a straight level. On the square. I'm not going to come with no shenanigans unless you come with shenanigans. And your shenanigans going to be met with a shenanigan that's 10 times harder. Because I think I'm 10 times harder than all you motherfuckers. But these women need to understand that these men fucked up. They concept of relationships fucked up. And these men need to understand these women fucked up. And their whole concept of a relationship is fucked up. We living like something that's not human. Understand the concept of matriarchy and how it works. Humans are matriarchal, mammalian, reptilian hybrid species that operate best under the hive concept. Now, if you don't know why all the secret societies got bees for their symbol or some silhouette of a bee, you need to wake up. Why they got all them feminine secrets on their goddamn symbolism? You need to wake up. Because as long as the woman stays subjugated, we all stay oppressed. So what do? I ain't good with this shit. And I don't see nobody else doing that. So I decided to tell y'all what the fuck going on. We speak two different languages. Men don't understand women, and women don't understand men out the gate. Nobody's taking the time to learn how to communicate and speak the other person's language. Imagine being dropped in a foreign country that you don't speak the language and you trying to communicate and tell these motherfuckers that you need a glass of water before you fucking die from dehydration and heat stroke and don't nobody know what you saying. All I can tell you at that point is adios. You a dead ass. So you learn the language. You get welcome into the hive. You get blessed in. If you a man, it's going to be a whole lot harder than if you a woman because they genetically engineered for the hive being controllers of mitochondria. There's a difference in being a holder and a controller. A man cannot turn his own mitochondrial on. He can't do it. He does not have the birthright to do it. So on Earth, a woman turn it on, and when she turn that shit on, most of these dudes commit suicide and kill their partner. You see it on Hollywood and everywhere else, because they think a dude, because he's doing good in this area, should be evolved enough to handle the power of the true love sensation. He can't handle that shit. He only got 3 chakras active. He needs 7 active in order to be able to fully control it. At minimum, we need 5 of them and just to be able to change. You know, so when you got to get to the next, then he don't even know where his other 4 at, because they only tell you about the 7 off the 7-11 flip, because 7 and 4 is 11.